A lemur leaps between trees 30 feet in the air. It never lands. Something intercepts it mid-flight, silent, precise, already moving before the lemur left the branch. That something is a fossa. It weighs less than 20 pounds. It is smaller than a golden retriever. And it just executed a kill in open air, between two trees, without a single surface to push off from. Madagascar has no lions. No leopards. No wolves. Evolution handed the apex predator role to this cat-like creature that most people have never heard of. The fossa doesn't dominate through size. It dominates through a predatory system so refined it intercepts moving prey in three-dimensional space, the same challenge aerospace engineers use to test missile guidance systems. This is not an ambush predator. This is an interception predator. There is a critical difference. And understanding it will change how you think about what a killer actually needs to be. The fossa looks like someone crossed a cat with a mongoose and then optimized the result for murder. But looks are the least interesting thing about it. Start with the ankles. The fossa has double-jointed, fully rotating ankles, a trait shared by almost no other mammalian predator on Earth. Those ankles let it descend trees headfirst at full speed, gripping bark on the way down with the same force it uses climbing up. It can reverse direction on a vertical trunk in under a second. No big cat can do this. A leopard, famous for its climbing ability, still has to slow down, reposition, commit to a direction. The fossa does not commit to directions. It treats vertical surfaces the same way it treats horizontal ones, as launch platforms. Now add the tail. The fossa's tail is nearly as long as its entire body, sometimes reaching 31 inches. That tail is not decorative. It functions as a dynamic counterbalance during aerial movement, allowing the fossa to rotate, redirect, and stabilize in mid-air the way a tightrope walker uses a pole, except the fossa is doing this at speed, in a canopy with unpredictable branch spacing, while tracking a target that is also moving. Then consider the claws. Semi-retractable, curved, and capable of gripping branches with enough force to arrest a full-speed launch mid-swing. The fossa can grip, release, grip again across 3 separate branches in a single movement chain. Researchers studying fossa locomotion in Kirundi Forest describe its canopy movement as asymmetric bounding, a gait pattern that generates speed while maintaining the ability to change trajectory. Most predators optimize for straight-line speed. The fossa optimizes for trajectory manipulation. That is a fundamentally different kind of dangerous. Here is the problem the fossa solves every single time it hunts. Imagine you are standing in a forest. A tennis ball is thrown at random, and you have to catch it, not on the ground, but by jumping from one elevated platform to another, choosing your route in real time, with no knowledge of where the ball will go next. A trained athlete might track the arc might. But the fossa is not tracking an arc. Lemurs in the canopy do not move in predictable trajectories. They adjust. They swerve. They change branch targets mid-leap based on what they see. The fossa has to model that. Neuroscientists studying predator vision note that intercepting a moving target in three-dimensional space requires the brain to run a continuous predictive simulation, calculating not where the prey is, but where it will be, accounting for its own movements simultaneously. Humans are not wired for this at speed. Our depth perception, while excellent by primate standards, evolved for ground-level navigation and tool use. We struggle to catch objects thrown at angles above 45 degrees without significant practice. The fossa does this instinctively, in a chaotic canopy, at heights where a miscalculation means a 30-foot fall onto roots. And here is what makes it worse for the lemur. The fossa does not always chase. Sometimes it positions. Fossas are not just skilled. They are shockingly fast for their mass. Sprint speed reaches 35 km per hour on the ground. In the canopy, where footing is inconsistent and gaps require improvised solutions, they sustain movement rates that outpace the Sifaka lemurs. They frequently target animals that evolved specifically for explosive arboreal locomotion over millions of years. The Sifaka can leap 30 feet in a single bound. It has powerful, spring-loaded legs and a body plan built entirely around canopy movement. The fossa catches it anyway. But here is what most documentaries skip. Fossas also hunt cooperatively rarely, but it has been observed. In 2009, researchers in Madagascar documented multiple fossas coordinating to drive lemur groups toward individual hunters waiting in the canopy. This is not pack behavior in the wolf sense. It is opportunistic coordination between animals previously assumed to be solitary. We tend to measure predators by size, by teeth, by raw force. The fossa breaks that model completely. It is the apex predator of an entire island ecosystem while being smaller than most dogs kept as house pets. What it demonstrates is that predatory dominance is a systems problem, not a strength problem. The fossa won its niche by solving spatial complexity faster than its prey can generate it. That is a cognitive and biomechanical achievement, not a physical one. The fossa is listed as vulnerable. Habitat loss is shrinking the canopy it depends on and the lemur populations it has shaped for millions of years. Subscribe for weekly deep dives into the predator's evolution built when it had no other options.